Hey guys, Weeby News here, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but here I am. So recently, Spike Chunsoft released a bunch of new information regarding Danganronpa Decadence. More specifically, they released a lot of game details regarding Danganronpa S, and it is now unfortunately confirmed that the game will contain microtransactions. And before anybody freaks out on me, I do want to clarify that according to the article, they are completely optional, so you don't have to pay anything to unlock all the characters, the character upgrade cards, and items. But I'm still very upset by its inclusion, and I'll explain why in a bit. First, I want to kind of explain some of the details regarding this reveal so that you guys have some more context. The article goes into depth describing the gameplay in Danganronpa S. It first describes it as following your favorite ultimate gifted students as they develop their talents at the summer camp and discover hope shards. Complete the board game to obtain that character's hope shard and collect 10 hope shards to progress the main story. One thing I am glad about is the fact that they did mention that there is a main story into the game, so I am glad to hear that there is going to be like an overarching story and that it's not just going to be totally random events between all the characters. Then it goes on further to explain what each square does on the board. First, there's the growth square, where you can gain experience points. As you advance to the later islands, the amount of experience granted from growth squares will increase. These squares are the most direct path when it comes to character growth, so you can't go wrong with stopping on one when you're not sure where to go. Then there's battle squares, which trigger battles with Monokuma type monsters known as Mono Beasts. After beating them, the players can earn experience points and Jabber coins, but if they lose, then they're sent back to the beginning of the board, which results in a time loss. There's also mid-boss battle squares, which spawn Mono Beasts that are stronger than those found in the normal battle squares. Then there's the event square, which triggers various events that occur in the summer camp. Some events have multiple options that will change the outcome and resulting stat increase. Then there is the friendship square, which trigger conversations between the characters, and they describe them as interactions that wouldn't be possible in the mainline series, and that character stats will also increase after the conversation is over, so it's a pretty good square to stop on. Next, there's the card square, and these grant useful cards that will allow you to have an advantage in the board game. There is a limit to how many cards that can be held at once, so it's better to use them and reap their benefits early before you reach the limit. Card effects include movement buffs that double the number of squares you can advance, and those that increase battle stats. There's also the talent squares, where the player can pick and acquire one of 3 types of talent shards, which are needed to learn new skills. The quantity and type of shard required varies depending on the skill, so it's a good idea to decide how you would like to develop your character before deciding on the shard type and skills to learn. They also talk about different character types and special effects. That characters that can be developed are one of 3 types: athletic, cerebral, or balanced. Each has a special ability that triggers on the board game and a specific battle command. On the field, type-specific special abilities will trigger at random at the beginning of the turn. Athletic types have Frenzy, which allows them to advance twice as far as the number they rolled and increases their stats in battle. Type-specific battle commands like the cerebral type's Ultra Magic, which inflicts 1.5 times the damage of a standard attack, can be used once per battle. It also mentions that there are 2 different shops in the games and 2 different types of currency. The shop square on the board takes Jabber coins earned from battles on the board that can be used to purchase equipment and cards, and also unneeded cards can be sold there for Jabber coins. It does mention that there seems to be ways to acquire items without spending coins though too. The second shop is the school store that takes Mono coins and Monomi coins, which you gain from clearing missions on each floor of the Tower of Despair, and this is where the microtransactions unfortunately come in. The Mono machines are where you can pull new character cards and items, and there are 3 different kinds of Mono machines that have different drop rates and require machine-specific coins. For example, the Mono Yashin is more likely to grant swimsuit SR cards, while the golden Mono machine only contains high rarity cards. And then at the end of the article, they sneak in the comment about how all content such as characters, character upgrade cards, and items can be unlocked by playing the game, but they can also be unlocked by purchasing through the Mono machines with real-world money. So like I said at the beginning, it's totally optional, but I still absolutely hate microtransactions regardless of whether or not they're optional. To me, it just feels like a lot less satisfying to unlock stuff the right way, just knowing that somebody else can like pay for it and unlock it immediately, you know? It also just feels really ridiculous to include microtransactions in a game that already costs $20 by itself. I'm hoping the drop rates will be similar to the original talent development plan, since it wasn't too hard to unlock all the characters in that game. But if the drop rates are really bad to the point that it's almost impossible to to gain all the characters without spending money, then I'm gonna be really upset. My other concern with this is that it seems like the main purpose of these transactions is to bypass the Tower of Despair, and it just makes me not very hopeful for the gameplay in there, you know? It's like, is it really that bad and like tedious to where they would include an option to skip it? It just does not look like a good sign at all. So unfortunately, my expectations for this game have dropped a lot lower. I'm just worried that since they're trying it out now, even though they're making it optional, if it does well in the future, they might decide to like, you know, lock stuff behind a paywall. And that would just be really ridiculous, especially if you're already paying money for the game in the first place. I still plan on buying the game, but I will not be participating in using real world money in the game. And I encourage everybody else to not do that as well, because like I said, I believe it will just encourage them to keep adding this in games and maybe even lock stuff behind paywalls in the future if they make a lot of money doing it. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know about this update. Feel free to let me know what your opinion on everything is. But thanks guys for watching the video. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you did enjoy it. And if you do like me covering Danganronpa updates, I'll be sure to update you guys for any new information regarding this game and for anything else pertaining to Danganronpa in the future. So yeah, thanks guys once again for watching, and I will see you real soon.